If your response to the question, what do you know about credit scores, is, then stick around and I'll tell you everything you need to know. Hey, I'm Austin from the new Austin Sylvan Financial Coaching, and I help forward-thinking young folks manage their money better so they can crush financial stress and live well. And today I'm covering everything you need to know about credit scores. And I really want you to trust me on this. Credit scores are so important to understand, and I want to tell you why through a little credit score horror story. Imagine you booked a trip, and it was out of town, so you needed to rent a car. Now on the day of the trip, you show up to the car rental agency, and they tell you right then and there you either have to pay hundreds of extra dollars or you just can't rent the car. So you get kind of frustrated and you go to another car agency and they tell you the same thing. Then you try to rent a car through the app Turo, which is like a car sharing app, and they decline you as well. So you call them up and ask what gives, and it turns out that you can only rent cars if you have a good credit score. And so now you can't go on the trip, and the money that you spent on the reservations is gone as well. The worst part of all this is this literally happened to my friend just last week, and I don't want the same for you. Do you have any credit score horror stories? If so, you should share them in the comments below and let others know what they can avoid getting themselves into if they start fixing their credit now. So today I'm going to cover what credit scores are, how they're calculated, and how you can find yours. And next week I'm going to put together a video on how you can improve or repair your score if it's not in good shape. But make sure you watch to the end of the video because I have an amazing resource for you that's going to help you get your credit score way up. Okay, so what is a credit score? A credit score is a number between 300 and 900 that's assigned to you based on how safe you are to lend money to. If your score is below 659, then that's not good. 660 to 724 is average, 724 to 759 is good, and 760 plus is great. So what do credit scores affect? The main thing that it affects is whether or not you're going to be approved for a loan. So if you want to buy a house, a car, or take out a new line of credit or a credit card, then your approval really relies on you having a good credit score. Also, your score will impact the interest rate that you're charged to borrow the money. So it's kind of like the rental fee for borrowing money. If your score is great, then you pay less to borrow money. But if your score sucks, then you're gonna pay more because you're more of a risk to lend money to. On something long-term like a mortgage, that difference between 1 or 2% of your interest rate can be a difference of thousands of dollars over time. So how can you find out what your credit information is? The first thing to check out is your credit report, which you can get through either TransUnion or Equifax. And I've put a link below to a Canadian government website that can link you to that. Credit reports can also be known as consumer disclosures or credit file disclosures, depending which company you're getting your report from. Now, your credit report won't actually give you a credit score, but it will tell you who's checked your credit score in the past, and it will give you a rating for how you've paid back your debts over time over the past few years. You can use TransUnion or Equifax to get your credit score, but that's kind of a dumb idea because it costs you like 15 bucks, and it actually impacts your credit because it's considered what's called a hard pull. Luckily though, there's a workaround because there's a company called Borrowwell, and they can give you a credit score estimate, which gives you a pretty good guess of what your credit score is at the current time. Since it's a credit score estimate, it's considered a soft pull, so it has no impact on your credit whatsoever, and it's free. Just know that the way Borrowwell works is that they'll give you the credit score for free, but then suggest different services that you can get that they offer to you. And if you sign up for that, then they get a referral fee from that company that you sign up to. I suggest just sticking to getting your credit score, and if you do need services in the future, go and do the research yourself to find out what you actually need. Moving along, let's talk about how your credit score is actually calculated, and I'm sure a lot of you want to know this. For some reason, everyone seems to think this is a mystery, but it's actually not that crazy. There's 5 main things that build your credit score. The first one is obvious, and it's your payment history. So if you pay off your bills on time every time, then you're gonna have a good credit score. If not, then your credit score suffers. And this accounts for 35% of your overall score, so it's a big chunk. Next is your credit utilization rate, which sounds kind of scary, but it's actually pretty simple. Let's say you have a credit card that has a $500 limit on it, and you regularly have $400 charged to it. That means the credit utilization rate that you have is at 80%. Now, alternatively, if you had a credit card that had a limit of $4,000 and you had $400 regularly charged to it, then your credit utilization rate is only 10%. So that's a lot better for your credit score because you're nowhere near your credit limit. And this accounts for 30% of your overall credit score. Length of credit is next at 15%, and that's essentially if you've had a credit card or a line of credit or an ongoing loan for a long period of time and you've continually paid it off well, you've built rapport up with the lenders, and that means that you get a better credit score. Next is credit types. So if you have like a mortgage, a car loan, a credit card, and like a line of credit, for example, and you pay them off regularly on time, every time, then again, you're showing to the lenders that you can handle different debts and pay them off properly. So they're still more likely to lend to you, and that means you get a better credit score. And that makes up 10% of your overall score. Last is inquiries. So let's say that a lender came to check out your credit score and they found that you've already applied for 4 lines of credit. That probably means that you've been denied for each one, which is why you're going to this lender. And it also means you're probably desperate for the money, which is a bunch of red flags. So the fewer inquiries you have on your account, the better. And that makes up the final 10% of how your credit score is calculated. So now you know what a credit score is, how it impacts you, how it's calculated, and how you can find your own credit score and report yourself. And at the beginning of the video, I also told you I have an amazing resource to help you get started with repairing or improving your credit right now. So if you want to get moving on that, then check out my new ebook. It's called Get Ahead Faster, and it can help you improve your credit score and so much more. And if that sounds good to you, then you can get it for free using the link down below. Also, if you want to get more about managing your money every day, then you should check out my Instagram. I share daily stories and regular posts to help you along with your financial journey. So if this video brought you value, then hit that like button and comment below with what helped you most. And make sure to subscribe and hit the bell because next week, I'm gonna dig deep into credit repair and improvement. But until then, enjoy the book, check out the Instagram, and I will see you then. All right, have a good one. Bye.